Bring Me the Horizon is easily one of the biggest bands in the world, and with them recently announcing a full re-recording of Count Your Blessings, everyone in the scene is going back in time to celebrate that specific era. But what about the one that came before that? What about the first demos, the early days of the band, and the emo phase of Ollie Sykes? Well, if you're as big of a nerd as I am, you probably care about that stuff, right? Which is why today, my friend, I'm inviting you to take your cup of coffee, sit back and relax as we explore the forgotten era of Bring Me the Horizon. It's 2004, you just came back from school, and before playing Fire Red on your Game Boy SP, you decide to log in on MySpace. After browsing for a while, you finally have found your new favorite band. Bring Me the Horizon are still City's new blood. We have only played a handful of shows, but are getting a good reception from all the kids. We are currently just wanting to get about the UK and play some rad shows with rad bands and bring some rad mosh. Have a listen to the MP3. The quality is harsh and it's out of time, but don't worry, we're gonna get some shit done, pro yo. If you wanna get us on the show, do it. Leave some feedback and get the word spread. I mean, imagine discovering Bring Me the Horizon at that moment. 2,000 profile views, 200 friends, and oh, what's that? A website? Hook us up, we are now MySpace pimps all the way. Check our profile out here and add us as friends. Leave radical comments. Also, our song is doing pretty well in the HXC MP3 charts. The other day, it was at about 30, which is pretty cool, but we need it to be more, so go download it now. As you can see, I have done a new site, just because the old one was a bit confusing and needed more space for shows and stuff. Look at the sweetest flyer. It's gnarly, and has just got me even more psyched. We played an awesome show with the Nothing, Derail, Throne, and PSP the other day, although the PSP drummer did hit me. I said his band sucked apparently, but I'm not going to whine about how it's not a good reason to hit someone, I'll just leave it at that. The Nothing and Derail were really nice to us on the other end. They are really great. Everyone, email Matt and tell him to work off on Saturday so we can play some all-day outdoor fest with the Versus Project and others at a skate park in Leeds. Take it easy, kids. Love, Oliver. This would have been your official introduction to Bring Me the Horizon and Ollie himself, and what about the song you wanted us to hear? Who Wants Flowers When You're Dead? Nobody was one of the first songs they ever wrote as a band, and is now famously part of the Bedroom Sessions, which, by the way, was never an official Bring Me the Horizon release. It's actually a fan-made demo compilation. But for the sake of the video, since it became so iconic over time, let's just go along with it and pretend it was official. So first, we've got Shed Lights, by far the worst sounding, which is kind of unfortunate because I generally think it had potential. I mean, the classic melodic riffs, the breakdowns,
put on your best fucking dress.
and the weird guitar solo at the end for no reason at all. Then we've got the demo version of Medusa, with freaking in hell pig squeals at the end. For the love of God, Ollie, please do that on the re-recording. And finally, to finish the demo, we've got Off the Easy and Dragon Slaying, which, as we all know, was the original version of Liquor and Love Lost on Count Your Blessings. With only a couple of demos, the band had managed to build a very strong hype, especially in their local scene, where you could feel it as they were playing live. Look at Ollie throwing himself on the floor, going crazy. During that era, the band was absolutely unhinged and it was awesome. While we're on the topic, pretty different version of Ollie, right? So after playing shows and writing new songs together, they finally had enough material to release a full EP. They originally recorded 5 songs in Ollie's basement, which ended up being the very first version of This Is What the Edge of Your Seat Was Made For. It was 100% DIY and limited to only 80 copies, with the original artwork made and created by Ollie himself. The 5 songs were Who Wants Flowers When You're Dead? Nobody. The film produced the effect I wanted, and I plunged like a dagger into the heart of Paris as I have foretold. Our film ruined in a single evening, 10 years. Passe Compose, I admit I was never that good at. Traitors Never Play Hangman. And We Are All Movie Stars. Then, suddenly, everything changed when they finally got signed by 30 Days of Night, an Australian label who sent the band to Pristine, a professional studio in Nottingham, to record and release the official version of This Is What the Edge of Your Seat Was Made For. This Is What the Edge of Your Seat Was Made For opens with Re, They Have No Reflections, super weird and chaotic in the best possible way. This song is basically just a big riff salad, full of blast beats, breakdowns, melodies, which, to be fair, was exactly what we wanted at the time. After that, we've got the new version of Who Wants Flowers When You're Dead? Nobody. Absolutely love that song, especially the post-hardcore part that leads to an insane breakdown. Speaking of which, just for context, having multiple breakdowns in a song like that in 2004 wasn't a thing at all. Let me tell you, those guys were always ahead of their time. Then, obviously, we've got the song Roar. Such a crazy song featuring gang vocals, a random girl screaming, and some Norma Jean style panic chords. Then, last but not least, we've got Traitors Never Play Hangman. Besides having the absolute best intro of all 4 songs in my opinion, this one's even more interesting because it would get an official video later on top of the fact that it was supposed to be 2 separate songs at first. The other one would have been called We Are All Movie Stars, as I've mentioned earlier with the demo. But apparently, after playing both songs live in a row, they decided to merge them together, because I guess it just made more sense. Musically, it's simple. It had every single element I was mentioning and even more, which made it a perfect choice for a single if you ask me. As for the artwork, looking back, the new one was kind of a bold choice, especially given the type of music it was representing at the time, but it's also what kind of made it stand out and intriguing in a way. It was limited to 1,000 copies, with a different backprint, which often had I hate all my friends written on it. I'm saying often because it was a misprinted release, which meant that some covers were different from one another. During that era, Ollie was actively blogging online on their website promoting the EP, and there's one in particular I wanted to share. Hey, did you have a good Christmas? I think all of us had an amazing time, so what's new? Our CD is officially out. It's going to be in a lot of stores. But if it's not, would you please request it, even if you're not going to buy it, so they get it in? I know Crash Records and Out of Step in Leeds has it so quickly. Go buy. You can head over to the store on details on how to buy it. SoundDevastation.tk is the first to review it, and they gave us a 9 out of 10, which we're all super happy about. Kerrang, Rock Sound, Big Cheese, and like 47 other magazines are reviewing it too. So wish us luck, okay? We have also got lots of shows in January, so please come down to at least one. We will act very silly and make you smile, maybe. Ollie sure seemed happy with the overall reception, and while we're here, let's take a look at this review he was telling us about. Dear Lord, okay guys, I'm not reading all of this. You can always press pause and read it all you want, but to summarize, they basically praised the EP, saying it was refreshing and overall very good musically, going as far as ending the review by saying, "Could we have an album now, please and thank you boys? Get those tight pens out and deliver some more evil tunes." While we're on the topic, I really wanted to mention a specific review made by Vendetazine. How do you pronounce that? Vendetazine. I cannot say it. It's a magazine, right? They did a review and it was great. I picked this one because they made probably one of the most accurate statements about Bring Me the Horizon that I've ever read. I promise you that if this band can realize the potential shown on this 4-track and transfer it to a full-length studio recording, then they're going to be spectacularly pissing on most of the output from the UK extreme metal and metalcore scene for years to come. Needless to say, this is what The Edge of Your Seat was made for, was a clear success. So much so that its exposure went beyond their fanbase and got them a deal with Visible Noise Records, who then immediately made a re-release of the EP with a brand new artwork, which, as we all know, became extremely iconic. Believe it or not, on top of all the exposure they got from the re-release, it also peaked at number 41 on the top UK albums chart. Despite the label being new at the time, it was still a great opportunity for Bring Me the Horizon because with Visible Noise behind them, it basically meant they'd finally get the proper exposure they needed in order to reach the next level. They also managed to get a deal with Crusade Records, with whom they made an alternate artwork, which was actually pretty sick if you ask me. It really was a new era for the band, and it became very clear that something special was happening, especially online. Now, I did something and I'm pretty sure no one will ever care about it except for me, but since there was no actual archives for late 2005, early 2006 on MySpace, I kind of went above and beyond and created my own MySpace layout for them, or at least what I thought their MySpace would look like at that time. I don't know why I did it. It was fun, okay? So please just go along with it. The obvious choice was to go with the re-release artwork. I mean, that's the one we all remember. I basically followed the colors and the patterns, which I thought made sense and looked pretty good, to be honest. Then, for the profile itself, it's kind of hard to explain. I guess I just went with what I thought it could look like. At this point, the next logical step was to promote the EP live, and I mean, something special was happening. No other band in the world had this level of energy. And the best part is, it was only the beginning. No one was expecting what would be coming next in the metal world, and I don't even think the guys in Bring Me the Horizon even knew. Oh, and remember earlier when you had to click on Bring Me the Horizon or Drop Dead on their website? Well, I clicked on Drop Dead actually because I was curious and it was terrible. I constantly came across temporary one-pagers and a couple of mini updates, including one in which Ollie was saying they got hacked and lost everything. Then I found another one in which I discovered that Ollie's email address at the time was dragon_slaying@msn.com. It took me forever until I finally found one link that worked and eventually led me to an early Drop Dead collection, so you're welcome, I guess. But as much as 2005 was a big year for Bring Me the Horizon, little did they know 2006 would be way more significant for them. They got nominated for an award, so they invited their fans to vote online, hoping they would win the Best British Newcomer at the Kerrang Awards, and they did! They actually won! It was incredible! At this point, all they needed to do was to release a full-length album. An amazing record that would show the entire world what was coming next, what would be the next big thing.
It's possible that some of your fans may actually like you because of your hair.
Well, our hair is great. Our hair is better than most people's hair.
But I already made videos about this, so I guess for today, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Seriously, it means the world to me. I really wanted to make that video. It was already an idea of mine, but right now, with everybody talking about Count Your Blessings and Bring Me the Horizon coming back in the deathcore scene and all that, I thought it would be a perfect time. Plus, I had so much fun. going back in the archives on MySpace, old blogs and stuff like that. It's pretty much my favorite thing. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to support me to a higher level, the best way to do that is by subscribing on Patreon. Thanks to Renee, Samai, Donovan, Jason, and Derek. You guys are awesome. If you want to know before anybody else what my next video is going to be about, talk to me directly, show me your music, know more about gaming and anime, what I do in my life, stuff like that, this might be a good option. Just saying. Also, feel free to join our Discord server and watch the Brutality podcast every single week, live on Twitch and YouTube. It's a fun conversation we have with all your favorite bands. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. And as for now, I'm finally gonna stop talking. I'll see you in the next one.